I step off the Bolt bus at 34th and Market with one lavender suitcase and the kind of hope that still smells like my grandmother's cedar chest. The air is already wrong. It tastes of burnt transmission fluid and wet pennies. I whisper the name Drexel University. Philat'll feel like it is a spell that might still open a gate to the life they promised in the glossy brochure that showed a girl who looked like me, only happier, bathed in golden October light. Spoiler alert, the light here is never golden. It is the color of old dishwater, and it sticks to your skin the way guilt sticks to a lie. First, the money. They swipe my mother's credit card for $58,043 before I even pick up a key. I watch the terminal print the receipt crutch. Like a tiny guillotined I feel my future shorten by exactly 4 years. Why is this bad? Because money is only paper, yes, but paper is made from trees, and trees take decades to grow. And my mother just traded half her forest for a permission slip to enter a building that smells like wet dog and chlorine bleach. I learn later that the same class at community college costs $1,200, which means I have prepaid approximately $47,000 for the privilege of being miserable faster. Capitalism, sweetie, is just a fancy word for we will sell you your own oxygen and call it opportunity. The dorm is called Race Hall, which sounds poetic until you realize the only race is the one you lose running from the cockroaches. My room is a rectangle engineered by someone who hated rectangles, 10 feet by 12, but the ceiling dips to 6'2" in the middle, so every time I stand up I offer my forehead to the plaster gods. The mattress is thinner than the morality of a hedge fund befriendwo inches of foam laid over wires that know every pressure point of my spine. The sheets they sold me for $99, plus tax, plus shipping, plus linen service that never materializes, are sized for a bed that does not exist in the material universe. They pop off the corners at night and slither to the floor like they are ashamed. I wake at 3:27 a.m. with my hip bone kissing cold linoleum and the taste of aluminum in my mouth. Why is this bad? Because sleep is the only free escape we get, and they have weaponized insomnia. When you do not sleep, your memories leak. You forget the sound of your father saying, "I love you," and remember only the drone of the vending machine in the hallway that eats your last dollar and coughs up nothing. I go hunting for food because the cafeteria is a casino where the house always wins. The swipe card says all you care to eat, which is hilarious because I care to eat literally anything that is not beige. The scrambled eggs are the color of a nicotine tooth. They squelch when I bite them, releasing steam that smells like old mop water. The bacon is so thin you could read the Lord's Prayer through except the Lord has left this building. I try the fresh fruit bar. The bananas are green on the outside, black on the inside, exactly like my sense of justice. I take one bite and feel the granular sugar crystals dissolve into a chemical aftertaste that reminds me of the time I licked a battery just to feel something. Why is this bad? Because food is supposed to be love made edible, and this is hatred fried in canola. Your stomach sends distress signals to your brain. Your brain forwards them to your heart. Your heart files them under things we will cry about later. Malnourishment is not just vitamins. It is the slow erosion of the ability to daydream. The registrar's office is a circle of hell Dante skipped because even he could not handle the bureaucracy. I arrive at 8:02 a.m. clutching a printout that says I need signature C, but the line already snakes past the water fountain and out the door. The woman at the counter, her name tag says Joy, which feels like a war crime tells me I
actually need signature B first, but the office that issues signature B closes at 9, which is in 58 minutes, and it is located in another building that is a 12-minute sprint across the trolley tracks where the traffic lights conspire against pedestrians. I ask why the website did not mention this. Joy shrugs with the existential exhaustion of someone who has watched every episode of her own life and already knows the ending. I run. The air is a thick soup of diesel and
I am going to talk about how the businesses near Drexel University in Philadelphia feel to a visitor. Imagine a city block that should be lively, but often feels like a dim hallway where the lights flicker and the doors are half closed. That is the feeling that many travelers get, and I will explain why. First, the whole shopping area that used to be called the gallery now wears another name. The stores there all share a cold industrial vibe that makes you want to walk in quickly and leave. The seats look like metal slabs and the food court feels empty and uninviting. Shoppers say they see few people, hear no chatter, and wonder if they have stumbled into a ghost town. One mall called the Fashion District shows this pattern clearly. People describe how the security staff act like they are guarding a bank vault, asking why they are just looking at windows, and even refusing restroom use until a train ticket is shown. The cinema sometimes hands out seats that already belong to someone else, and the staff seem to think delivering food to a stranger is a kind act. The whole place feels like a place that tried to be fancy, but ended up looking tired and uncaring. Next, the wellness center known as Rescue Spa paints a similar picture of disappointment. The promise of relaxation turns into a rush through a hallway where the massage table feels like a bumpy road, and the staff move faster than an impatient rabbit. Clients who hoped for gentle skin care leave with breakouts that look like tiny volcanoes on their faces. The technicians sometimes try to style hair that their tools cannot handle, leaving customers with frizz and damaged strands. Prices rise without warning, and the front desk sounds as if they are reading a written for a robot. The overall atmosphere feels more like a transaction than a sanctuary. The Korean eatery D-Back also follows this unhappy rhythm. The food often arrives overly sweet or bland, and a few diners report stomach aches that feel like a storm in the gut. Service is described as abrupt, with waiters snapping at simple payment methods and adding extra tips without explanation. Some guests even saw insects wandering across the tables, turning a simple dinner into a scene from a creepy movie. The restaurant's ambience seems to have lost the warmth that should accompany Korean hospitality. The coffee spot Cafe Lift is another example where the promise of a cozy breakfast meets reality that feels like a cold wind. Drinks sometimes arrive half full of ice, and sandwiches hide hidden pits that hurt when bitten. Customers wait long enough to wonder if the kitchen has become a secret lab that only works at midnight. The staff often forget orders, charge extra gratuities, and act as if they are reading a manual on how not to smile. The whole experience feels like waiting for a train that never arrives. Even the nightlife venue Midnight and the Wicked follows the same pattern of broken expectations. The bar promises a lively night, but patrons encounter rude staff that act like they are auditioning for a drama about bad manners. Dress codes are enforced unevenly, making some guests feel singled out for the color of their skin or the style of their shoes. The entry process sometimes feels like a puzzle with missing pieces, and the bouncers appear more interested in playing tricks than welcoming friends. The venue's reputation for fun fades quickly when the door closes on those who simply wanted to enjoy a drink. The boutique.
Businesses near Drexel University, Philadelphia, they can be tricky. Like you think you race safe, but then bam, scammed. And it's so sad because people just want to enjoy their trip, First one, utility scams. Yeah, like stores and stuff around here get hit hard. This one shop owner, she got a call from someone pretending to be PECO, the electric company. They told her, pay now or we cut your power, and guess what? She saw real PECO trucks outside, just coincidence, so she panicked, paid through some fake kiosk, and poof, $3,000 gone. Police tried, but the scammer disappeared. Like how, just like that? I bet she felt so stupid after, but it's not her fault. They make it look so real. Then there's the retail theft stuff. Stores around Drexel, sometimes people just walk in, take stuff, give fake names when caught. Like this one guy at Walmart, he got recognized from another theft, gave the cops fake IDs, but they knew. He had warrants too, so what happens? Store gets messed up, security gets tighter, and tourists. They see all this chaos and just feel unsafe. Like, why do people have to be like this? And sudden store closures, oh my gosh. So many shops on Baltimore Avenue just shut down overnight. One place amazed